Hello and welcome to the World Expo 88 Nepal Peace Pagoda here at South Bank Parklands, Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. My name is John McGregor and I'm from Friends of the Pagoda and Foundation Expo 88, and we're here doing a series of videos on the pagoda's rich heritage in the lead up to the 25th anniversary of World Expo 88 next year in 2013. So far we've done two videos, one on the pagoda's structure in general, another on the peace bell, and today we're going to focus on this beautiful statue here, that of Avalokiteshvara. And Avalokiteshvara is a bodhisattva, known as an attendant of the Buddha. And her name is quite a mouthful. She is known by several different names in several of the Asian Buddhist countries, and Avalokiteshvara is her Nepalese name. And it literally means he or she who casts his glance down at the world. Other researchers have said that her name means she who casts his glance down upon sound. And I'll go into that name a bit further on. But first of all, let's have a look at the statue. And as you can see, she's only about 4 or 5 feet high. She's on a little pedestal here. Although you can't see the pedestal in the video, the pedestal is actually supported by 2 elephants, representing great strength. And if we look at the statue of Avalokiteshvara itself, you'll notice that she has 42 arms and 9 heads. She also has 2 other heads at the very top as well, which I'll talk about in a second. And the Chinese sometimes call her Chenshou, Guanyin. Chenshou means 1,000 armed. Guanyin is her Chinese name. So she's sometimes depicted with 1,000 arms, not the 42 arms which we can see here and 9 heads. Now when you see a statue in the Christian context with many arms and many heads, you might think it's a ghoul or something like that. But in fact there's nothing ghoulish about Avalokiteshvara at all, because this simply represents her supernatural ability to help and find the lost wherever they may be. So she's able to help many people at the same time because of her many arms and because of her many heads and many eyes. She can see and find the lost wherever they may be. So let's get a bit back into her name again, Avalokiteshvara. And what does the term bodhisattva mean? Now, in Buddhism, they believe that every person has the ability to become a Buddha in their own right or attain Buddhahood. But there are the attendants of the Buddha, or the bodhisattvas, who defer their Buddhahood to a later stage in order to help people attain their own Buddhahood first. And once all the sentient beings have attained their Buddhahood, the bodhisattvas attain Buddhahood at the very end. So it's seen as a path similar to the path of a saint or a path of sacrifice. Somebody who helps other people attain their own Buddhahood before they become a Buddha in their own right. And anyway, so as we go on, you'll see that Avalokiteshvara here, she has the 9 heads. She has a crown on each head, which indicates that she is divine. And also at the very top, she has almost looks like a monster's face with a crown of several heads and fangs and so on. And now this is actually her protector, and he wards off evil. And at the very top we can see a little baby Buddha head, which indicates that she will in fact attain her Buddhahood at the very end, after everybody else has attained her Buddhahood. And let's talk a bit more about her name, Avalokiteshvara. If you look at her glance, she's not looking directly at you, she's looking down. So that's the Avalokita part of the word, one who looks down. And Shvara has been interpreted as meaning one who looks down on the world, or one who looks down upon sound. And the second interpretation refers to the fact that as people are suffering on earth, they call out to her for help, and she is looking down upon their sounds of suffering. So that's literally what Avalokiteshvara means. But also in the other Asian Buddhist countries, she is known by different names in their own languages. For example, the Chinese call her Guanyin, as I mentioned before. The Japanese call her Canon. In fact, the Japanese camera company Canon was named in dedication of her. And the Tibetans call her Chenrezig. So that's a bit about her different names in the different Asian Buddhist countries. And so on and so on. You'll also notice here that she's wearing an antelope skin shawl. And although it's very difficult to see the details here, all around the outside of her shawl you will find engraved the 8 auspicious symbols of Buddhism, which we mentioned at the Peace Bell earlier on in our earlier video. And so on and so on. And she's also carrying several implements as well with her front arms, as you can see here. Amongst them, she carries a lotus flower, which represents enlightenment. She also is carrying some rosary beads and also a trident as well. And that basically sums up our story about Avalokiteshvara. I hope you've enjoyed this little vignette, and I hope you get to see our next video on the stupa in the next few minutes. Thank you and goodbye.